What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is Car Musings with Mr. T. You can see my look is a little bit different today. Normally I have my beanie, Timberland beanie, but today beanie's off, class is on. So let's get straight into it. Rachel Reeves, budget. Famous words, famous trending words, I should say. But I just wanted to come on because I've had a little bit of time to digest. I've been listening to one of my a few of my favorite YouTube channels, just listening to them dissect the budget. So this one is an interesting one. This is an interesting one because I've just I've taken my time to kind of digest everything. I'm not say 100% up to speed with completely everything, and not everything is as accurate as it should be. But yeah, what are your thoughts with the budget? Put your comments below. Good, bad, anything that you don't like. Now, there's three that really really get my juices going. One is the ISA one. So I believe people have been taxed. So basically, cash ISA, I think, reduces to 12,000 limit instead of 20,000, but the stocks and shares still remains 20,000. So I guess that's good. Yeah, and then pension contributions. Okay, some of us don't. We can't make more than 2K. Well, anyway, significantly close to 2K contributions, but that's also kind of kicking the teeth for some of the people that want to retire early, or people that have that sort of income. And then the tax freeze. I guess that's three. Where do I sit in all of this thing? As a general sort of feeling, it's a bit difficult because I was just trying to pick and really understand what she's trying to achieve with this one. I mean, I won't go into the fourth element. The fourth element would be the child benefit cap that's been raised from 2 kids now, right? So the maximum was 2 kids. So now that incentivizes people with more than 2 kids to basically just keep popping babies, which is fine, because people might argue, well, births are kind of decreasing, just because obviously there's more women are going to college, there's more women in the work field, women are more boss babes and CEOs and all that kind of stuff. That probably might be more genre specific or culture specific. But here's the thing, I don't know about this budget, because what I'm really thinking is, I'm in my 40s, surprise, surprise, and I'm really thinking about maybe going a little bit more aggressive on my my pension contributions, or at least doubling them. Because hey, I'm in my 40s, but the 50s and 60s come very quickly, and then you're going to start thinking, gosh, I should have maximized my pension contributions a long time ago. I've really started going on my stocks and shares ISA, so I do that as well as my pension. Now this whole tax thing, right, is it just in the general sort of feeling is like, how is Rachel Reeves and this Labour government really trying to make people feel like they have more money in their pockets? To me, it feels like they don't want people to feel like they have more money in their pockets. They're trying to squeeze every little bit of income or finances that you have, and really, I mean, I can't think of a better analogy than really trying to squeeze blood out of a stone, because that's what it really feels like. So like a person like me that's like, okay, I don't know, my middle class, I don't even know anymore. Is there a difference between working class and middle class nowadays, or even rich? Because let's be honest, somebody who makes 100K and somebody who's making 39 or 40K, is there really that much difference if you look at the whole tax system, the way it works? So I'm just like, okay, so she gives people with more than kids, even with more than 2 kids, she increased the benefit cap. I mean, okay, on one side people will say, okay, yeah, that's going to help some families. Fair enough. There are going to be some people that really need that help. But in terms of incentivizing, like, this budget, who does it incentivize? I'm like, you got a record number of millionaires leaving the country. Young people are leaving this country. If you listen to LBC, radio, you would have heard in the last few days they were having a discussion about this. Young people, more young people than ever before, are leaving the country. So you have to ask yourself, is there a bit of a brain drain now going? Because surely it's the young people that should be leaving. But this just goes to show that this has been brewing for a very long time. Maybe from as much as when I was at university, which was ages ago, maybe not too long ago, because my wife always trying to remind me that, hey, you're not too old. And yeah, I received that. I'm not too old. I'm still a young guy. But here's the thing. For a long time, young people have not been able to rent affordably, get on the property ladder. And now some people are just like, and with the whole thing because of COVID and everything, I guess people have felt like, well, I can just, because of COVID, obviously more people working from home, and that the amount of remote jobs increased because people realize, oh, you don't have to work in an office, you can work anywhere. So I've seen a lot of young people, maybe in their 20s, just finished university. That's sort of university age, go into work in places like the Philippines, South Asia, because rent is cheap. You can have a really good job that's have a European or US company that pays you well, and then you pay a third of the rent over there, and then they live the life. I mean, who can blame them, right? I'm digressing. Here's the point that I'm making, and I'll repeat that. This budget, just, I don't see how it's supposed to incentivize companies, people like me that want to invest, that want to save up for retirement, people that want to, even if you look at the whole renting thing, people, on a 12-month rolling contract, they can leave whenever they want. What does that do for the landlord? They have to find new people to move in, and there's always issues, people moving in, people moving out, things that need to be fixed. I'm just like, I don't get it. And I'm like, and I tell you what, and this is the main thing that I probably want people to get out of this video, at least from my perspective, is it's made me look very hard. And I was already doing this, but it's made me look very long and hard about how I spend my money. And I mentioned before that obviously I was already doing like the company pension, where you put in so the 3%, say for example, is a salary sacrifice for your pension, and then they match it, whether it's 4 or 5%. I was already doing that. My company was already matching me at 5%. So now I was thinking about doubling it, because I know it allows me to maximize that, because it's free money. And I think I still will be doing that. And the reasons for that is because I want to invest for the future. I want to invest for my future, for my kids' future. If anything happens to me, I want to know that my wife and my kids have access to what I've been investing, because that's what I look at it as. It's investing. And I know some people are going to be like, well, let's listen, Mr. T, I can't invest because I can hardly have, there's some months where I've only have £50 left at the end of the month, and, we just don't have that amount of money to invest. Fair enough. And it's tough. The only thing I would say with that is, sure, that's the case. If you can't invest, then that's fair enough. That's totally understandable. And maybe this video isn't for you. But in some instances, maybe it is, because maybe you just want to hear somebody rant about what Rachel Reeves is doing and what this government is doing, because it's messed up. It really is. But for some of you that might be thinking, okay, what else can I do? Start a side business. And I know some people are going to be like, oh, that's really complicated. But look, investing for your future and trying to start something or give yourself options is never easy. But the work starts with you sitting down, whether it's on a notepad or computer, whatever. Start writing your ideas, things that you're passionate about. You might like selling sneakers or trainers. You might like selling clothes. You might like arts and craft. You might helping people. You might driving, doing school pickups. They have the vans and you have to do school runs and help people that can't always get to their kids and pick them up. Whatever it is, you might need to start looking at those things and it doesn't have to be something big. The government doesn't come after you tax-wise until you earn like maybe £1,000. So even if you stay beneath £1,000, that's already income. That's £1,000 that you didn't have before. So, there's different ways. But if you're like me, you're an investor, I'm always thinking of every last penny that I have, £10, £20 that I've got, I put in the stocks and shares ISA. And then, like I mentioned, I'm also thinking about doing increasing my pension thing. But this whole thing of going back to Rachel Reeves and what they're doing, what this government is doing, it just doesn't make sense, because companies are going to look at it and be like, well, if I want to open up a UK arm of this company or this business. Why would I do it in the UK? Because the tax implications, I mean, are just crazy. There's no incentive to, you know, to earn more than say 50k, because you're going to get taxed more. So, you know, the UK tax system, obviously, I think 12,570 is like your personal allowance, so they don't tax. And then I think you still tax 20%. If you up to 50k. So if you go above 50k, you get taxed probably about 40% more. If I'm wrong, please put it in the comments. You know, this is just a rant, so, you know, put it in the comments if you want to correct me on anything. But so when you look at that and you think about all the companies that want to maybe put a new sales operative in the UK because they want to focus on Europe, if they're an American company, Asian company, they're looking at it as just like, well, why? Because obviously, in some instances, there's going to be pension contributions. They're going to need to give benefits to people. So there's no incentive for anybody to come to the UK, unless if you're a massive organization like your Amazons and stuff like that. And that's the other thing that people have been pointing out, that this budget seems like it's gone after the normal working person. They haven't gone after the big companies, because let's be honest, we haven't really heard how any of that impacts the big companies. So it's like they want the big Amazon warehouses and all those types of companies, but the normal small, you know, small to medium businesses, these are the ones that get hit the most with this budget. It's absolutely crazy. So yeah, so for me personally, I think my thing is still the stocks and shares, ISA, because I think it's the way to go, because you can put up to 20,000 in stocks and shares ISA. People are saying that, oh, you know, this budget is making people not put money in their cash ISA, because obviously they've reduced the cash ISA ceiling from 20,000 to 12,000, but then they've left stocks and shares ISA like that. So I really don't get what it is that they're trying to do here, because if you're trying to get more people to surely save up and invest, and because you're saying, okay, well, things are so much expensive. And by the way, this is a government that said they were not going to tax anybody, but they've now taxed us 3 times. I think it's 3 times at least, anyway, twice or 3 times. So they're liars. And you cannot trust this government. You know, you cannot trust them, even with anything, even with your opinion, your breath, whatever, because it's just ridiculous. And so I don't really get it. I don't really get it in terms of, okay, you know, I think it's only about a very small percentage of people in the UK anyway that invest in stocks and shares. So I don't know whether people are going to now want to move money from their cash ISA into their stocks and shares ISA, because of your stocks and shares ISA you can maximize more. But the whole reason people did a cash ISA was because they didn't trust investing in stocks and shares, and that's fair enough, because you have to have a bit of a risk appetite to put in stocks and shares. So I guess they're trying to force people into investing in stocks and shares, but I don't understand why. And then why you would limit the cash ISA but leave the stocks and shares the same. And then if tax is already high, how are people anyway supposed to save in a stocks and shares ISA? I'm really not getting it. I'm really not getting it. But listen, people, we've got to level up. And the other thing also now is that people are now just considering leaving the country, because they're just like, sorry, I can't do it, because there really is no incentive for you to. I mean, if you're a small medium business and you know the more money you make, the more you're going to get taxed. You're thinking, what's the point? And also, if you're just a regular employee and you want to, there's no incentive to climb the corporate ladder anymore. So what's going on? I have no idea. So yeah, that's my rant. But anyway, guys, if you're watching this video and you've stuck this far, thank you for listening to me rant. And I really hope that you've been putting some comments in the below, because I really want to hear what you guys think. You know, am I off with my comments? What did I miss? There's certain things that, you know, you think that I should have pointed out in this video, but this is what a rant is, right? I just feel like I needed to make this video. So yeah, so if you have stayed this far, please subscribe, like, and obviously comment. And yeah, just let me know your thoughts. What are some of your thoughts in terms of your strategy going forward? Are you married in your 40s? Are you single? Are you leaving the country? Yeah, just let me know. And all I can say after that is thanks for watching. Watch out for another video soon. Peace.